This man was already 40 years old, yet he stayed cooped up at home every day, living off his parents. His only hobby was playing video games until the early hours of the morning. It was not until lunchtime the next day that Jack would step out of his room, but every time he finished eating, he would return to his cramped room and stay there all day. When night fell, he would go to the convenience store to buy instant noodles and drinks. Jack was not only afraid of socializing, he even communicated with his parents through sticky notes. Nearly all his time was consumed by games. No one knew how long this would go on. When Jack woke up for lunch that day, he found a note from his mother on his lunchbox. She planned to convert the house into a 2-unit residence. Before Jack could figure out what that meant, a loud commotion from a large group of people came from the front door. As a socially anxious person, he could only grab his lunchbox and hide in his room. When his sister's family heard about the renovation, they decided to move back in with their parents under the pretext. But as the group discussed the renovation details, the architect stated that because there was a single man like Jack in the family, the house would be redesigned as a 5-unit home. Upon hearing this, his sister immediately became upset. Even so, she could not go against their mother's decision. In the end, her husband agreed to give up the study so the room could be given to Jack. Jack overheard every word of their conversation. Just then, the sound of a key turning in the lock came from outside. Jack's nerves tensed up instantly. Still, he mustered up the courage to open the door. But when his niece Lisa saw her uncle, she was instantly disgusted by his appearance. After leaving their parents' house, the sister and her family were looking forward to life in their new home. At that moment, Lisa said her uncle was like a creepy shut-in she'd seen on the news. But her father told her that her uncle had not always been so apathetic. He had once worked at a big company. No one knew why he had ended up like this. A few days later, renovation work on the old house began. Jack moved out of the house the night before. He bought a lot of instant noodles at the convenience store he usually went to, then dragged his luggage and checked into an internet cafe. Soon enough, the old house was completely transformed. A life of 3 generations living under one roof began. That night, Jack returned home late as usual. His mother left sticky notes in obvious places as always, guiding Jack to his own room. Though the space was small, it was more than enough for Jack. He turned on his computer and checked his fan messages. A girl with a doll avatar had sent him a private message. She said she had watched his stream not long ago and had specifically messaged to cheer him on. But the familiar doll avatar struck a chord in Jack. The next night, Jack's parents held a housewarming party, but the gathering was far from harmonious. Because their sister's son had scraped his forehead, their mother complained that their daughter had not taken good care of their grandson. As the atmosphere grew awkward, the person in charge from the construction company suggested taking a family photo, but Lisa kept a sour face during the photo shoot. When Jack stepped out of his bedroom to eat, Lisa could no longer hold back and stormed out, slamming the door. Rejected outright by his niece once again, Jack's mood plummeted. He went back to his room and checked his fan messages. At that moment, the doll avatar caught his eye again. He finally opened his old phone and found the origin of the doll. More than 10 years earlier, his sister had given birth to a daughter. Jack had visited her in the hospital once. Back then, he had given his niece a teddy bear doll. At that moment, he was certain that the girl with the doll